that it launched, because I understand that Nintendo launched it quickly to get it out to the market to make sure that they would have an opportunity to have the quarter to themselves, which I understand. But I will have a problem with it if they wait too late or they wait too long to get these updates out and get the ball rolling on some of these features. So that's when it's going to become a problem for me, especially when it's around the fall time and we're actually having to pay for these things. Then it's going to be a real problem for me. But I just want to go on record and kind of make an official video of my pros and my cons about the Nintendo Switch. Well, mostly I want to talk about what I think needs to be improved. I've talked about what I really like about the console on Boss Lair on She Attack TV on YouTube, which is from my website. It's a video podcast that I do with Air Cuts for the Win and Jaleesa, aka Crunk Girl 711 for She Attack. And I've also gone on record and talk about my official impressions on what I like and what I dislike about the system on Team Red Talks Nintendo, which you guys can watch on my channel and Active Zen Gaming's channel every Tuesday. So, well, the last couple of shows I think have been on Wednesday due to like time conflicts, but usually we do have our podcast on Tuesdays. Team Red Talks Nintendo. Make sure you check it out. So, I just want to go down a list and I want to talk about some things that I feel that the Nintendo Switch needs. And I think that Nintendo needs to be open and they need to be willing to listen and they need to be make sure they keep their ears to the streets, so to speak, because with the Wii U, we know how that turned out. The Wii U launched with a lot of lacking things, and surprisingly, the Wii U launched with a lot more stuff than the Switch has right now. But in the end, Nintendo did not update the Wii U. I don't know if they just didn't care enough about the Wii U because the Wii U didn't really sell that well, and there wasn't that install base there that was kind of like their push to actually wanting to make it better. You didn't add me, Ultra. I could have sworn I sent you a friend request and you never added me back. But I can add you. So this is what I think needs to be improved. And so let's go down a list, right? Because there's some things that I actually like about the Wii U that I wish that would actually have been implemented on the Switch, but just in a more streamlined way. So the first thing that I have on my list, I'm going to start with firmware and software first. So the first thing on my list for what I wish was improved on the Nintendo Switch for now is messaging, obviously. I know that there's been rumblings about the online things like messaging and the party system being on a smartphone app. I really do hope that is not true, because I don't want to have to go away from this UI, which I do like aesthetically, to use my smartphone and do something as simple as message my friends or set up a party. That's not okay. I really do hope that Nintendo finds a way to actually put it on the system despite the minimal RAM, even though to be honest, it's really not an excuse, because on the 360, they use like 512 megabytes of RAM for their UI. So I think that it's possible. Nintendo just has to do it. And especially for the like party chat and stuff like that, they could possibly do that with the RAM that they have, because I don't really think it takes that much RAM to have some type of VoIP system on the actual device. I don't really think it takes up that much bandwidth, but I understand that they're trying to keep the UI simple, because right now the UI is about 0.5 gigabytes, which is about the same amount of RAM that the actual 360 used for their interface, and the 360, we all know, did a lot more. So yeah, obviously messaging and party chat is like a big deal. I just hope that whenever they bring it out, because we're supposed to be getting it in the summer, which is going to be our official test run, and then in the fall is when they're going to pay, where it's going to be paid. So I just hope that they figure it out by the time fall rolls around, because at that point we're going to be paying for it, right? So they really got to figure that out. Also, one thing that I really miss, and I know a lot of people are probably going to think that I'm crazy, but I really miss Miiverse. I thought that even though Miiverse was really clunky on the Wii U, the whole premise behind Miiverse was really good. And it was a really good way of keeping in touch with not only just your friends, but the entire Nintendo community, right? Like you would go onto Miiverse and you are immediately met with a forum-like infrastructure of Nintendo fans from all over the world talking about their experiences with the games that they're playing. I absolutely love that. You know, to see people's comments about what they're playing, people asking each other for help, you know, people drawing pictures, really good, awesome pictures on their feed. Like, Miiverse was really dope, and I was hoping to see a 2.0 version of Miiverse. Like, I would love it if Nintendo would bring Miiverse back, actually, and make it to where it kind of ties in with the activity feed. And I'm going to show you guys kind of like what it looks like. Let me just choose ActiveZen Gaming. Like, I can go to ActiveZen profile right now, and I can see what he's playing. I can see when we became friends and how we became friends. But I don't see anything extensive. Like, say he made a status update, like, oh, just beat the, you know, the white main Lionel with the picture, kind of like how you have like the photo mode and everything on the Switch as well as in Zelda. Like, it would be dope if they would have things like that that you could see on the profile. I would also like for them to have like some way for you to see your friend's playtime. Like, I see on his play activity the first time he played Zelda, but I don't know how many hours he's played Zelda. So I would like for them to incorporate an activity log, not only for yourself, because I want an activity log because I want to know how much I've played Zelda. Like, I know I put so many hours in Zelda, but I can't tell you exactly because the Nintendo Switch doesn't yet have an activity log. So I would really like for them to bring an activity log to the system, and also have one available for us to see for our friends' profiles. I think that would be a really cool way of kind of seeing like what your friends are playing and how often they're playing it. Maybe that could help sway somebody's opinion of whether or not they should buy or play a game. Because if I look on someone's profile and I see that they have put so many hours into a game, that might make me interested. Like, hey, maybe I should check this game out. My friend seems to be really enjoying it. I think that things like that are also a good way to not only stay connected to your friends, but it also helps you kind of gauge what the community is playing, and that could in turn, I think, lead to more sales for Nintendo games. But that's just my personal opinion. I know that's something that I really enjoyed on my Xbox One when I had my Xbox One, was being able to scroll down my activity feed and see what my friends are doing and what they were saying about what they were playing. So that was really dope. And as far as like the capture thing, I really like the fact that they added albums. They added a way to actually go in and see your screenshots. I mean, I know on the Wii U you could take screenshots on the Wii U, but there was no gallery. You kind of have to press the home button at whatever moment you wanted, and then you could upload it to Facebook or Twitter and stuff like that from like the web browser. They did make a way to where you could add screenshots to Miiverse later on, but it was kind of like towards the end of the Wii U cycle, and I didn't really care at that point because there wasn't a whole lot of stuff for me to play. So I really do hope that Nintendo incorporates that. And then they said that they're supposed to be bringing actual video capture in an update. So I hope that they have at least a 5-minute limit for videos. It probably won't be that long, kind of like how it is on the Xbox One. They're not that long, but you can do it. So I hope that that comes later too, which I know it is coming later, but I hope it doesn't take forever to get here. So that's kind of like what I want to see. Just to reiterate, I really want an activity log. I feel like an activity log is honestly the best next thing next to achievements. I'm not really an achievements whore. I don't really care about trophies and stuff, but I do think we should have something like achievements and trophies. If you guys have been following Nintendo, if you know about Nintendo, they do have some type of Nintendo award system that's like an achievement system through Nintendo account, which is your entire unified account. Nintendo account achievements work on mobile games. They work on the 3DS and the Wii U right now, where you get so many points and you get discounts on games. You get like special things like screen service for your 3DS, stuff like that. I hope that they incorporate that on the Switch. To me, I think that would be a good replacement for achievements, because not only are you getting you're getting an achievement on the system, you're also getting a real life reward for it. Like, say I put like so many hours into Zelda, and then that many of hours on Zelda accrues so many points on my Nintendo account, and that gives me some extra discounts on the Nintendo eShop. Like, they need to incorporate on the Switch, and I hope they incorporate it to the Switch. I do think they will down the line, because I mean, they've already done it on Wii U, they've done it on 3DS, they're doing it right now with their mobile stuff, Fire Emblem Heroes, I know for sure, and Miitomo. So just bring it over to the Switch, and I promise it's gonna be better than any other achievement system, because you're also getting things that allow you to get discounts on the eShop, which I think would be really beneficial for Nintendo. Also, I would like for them to go ahead and bring over that web browser and Hulu, Netflix, etc. I know that they're in talks with Hulu and Amazon and Netflix at the moment to get these things rolling. But my thing, like I mentioned before, is that I hope that it doesn't take forever for that stuff to come. I hope that it comes at least this year. Like, it needs to be here by the time we're paying for the service in the fall. That's my honest opinion. Like, we can't have another situation like with the Wii U where they completely just ignored any kind of features. They didn't update it. And maybe if the Nintendo Switch sells well and the community is invigorated, that would make Nintendo get on the ball with bringing these features over. So that's really my hope for that. But I do feel like it's important for us to kind of reiterate some of these things that we want to see. And even though they say that they're coming, we want to light the fire under their bottoms to make sure that they come a little quickly than they did on the Wii U, because the Wii U, we never got that stuff, right? Even though we asked the whole generation, we never got it because Nintendo just did not care enough. And it's like, I get it didn't sell that well, but still, do right by the people who bought your system. You know what I mean? So, like I mentioned before, if they're concerned about RAM, it shouldn't, like, if they're concerned about RAM, one of the things that they also talked about with Nintendo account is how they plan on incorporating cloud services through the help of DNA. And cloud services are already available right now on their mobile side. Like, on Fire Emblem Heroes, for example, a lot of the stuff in Fire Emblem Heroes is cloud-based. So if Nintendo is worried about using up, like, too much RAM on the system for these features, they could do it through cloud services. I think that would be really smart of them, because I mean, they're already doing it right now. So just incorporate it into the system, and I think that will be able to lessen the amount of RAM being used by the actual UI and the OS itself. Because to be honest, I like the lightweight OS right now. Like, I like the way that it looks aesthetically. I like the fact that it's not so cluttered and it's very easy to navigate. I like that, but obviously there just needs to be some more behind it. You know what I mean? Also, one thing that I do miss, it's not really that big of a deal, but one thing that I do miss is that I miss music on the UI. Like, it's so quiet. Like, you know, you have those little, like when people add you know, it pops up on like your screen. Oh my God, I forgot to mention that the Nintendo Switch has on-screen notifications. That's crazy that I'm excited for that. But right now, the way that the online notifications, those on-screen notifications work is that it shows you how many friends are playing at that time. Like, say if you have a new friend that pops up, it adds the number of how many people are playing at the time. And then it also tells you when somebody sends you a friend request. So say when Splatoon comes out, I don't have to back out of the whole game, hopefully, just to add someone. I can just hit the home button and go to where I need to go and then add them, and they can just jump into my party. So I'm hoping that's the way that it works. Like, hopefully there's real multitasking on this thing, but that's gonna remain to be seen whenever Splatoon comes out and then Mario Kart comes out next month. As far as like the actual hardware itself, I don't really have too many complaints about the hardware itself. I think that what the Nintendo Switch does, it does well. It plays well on TV mode. It plays well on portable mode. I don't have any complaints fundamentally about the Nintendo Switch, and I'm actually really enjoying my experience. And one of the things that I was talking about on Team Red Talks Nintendo last week was that the older I get, the more I'm starting to realize that the Nintendo Switch kind of, it actually does cater to my lifestyle, because I work 7 days a week. Like, literally I work 7 days a week. Like, through the week, I work 7.5 to 8 hours a day. And then on a weekend, I work 12-hour graveyard shifts on Saturday and Sunday night. So taking my Switch with me is on the weekend. That's where a lot of my Zelda time happens. Because I'm at work, it's really slow at my job on a weekend. So I use that opportunity to play Zelda. So to me, the hardware itself is good. The only thing that I don't like about the hardware itself, which is something that I really think needs to be improved if Nintendo decides to make another iteration, is that they need to put a headphone jack on this. And they also need to put a headphone jack in the next iteration of the Joy-Cons. I know the Joy-Cons already do a lot. They do a lot already. But add something else. Put a headphone jack in them bad boys so I can hear my game when I play. Like, I don't, I can play a portable mode just fine. Because in the actual portable itself, you have a headphone jack. Like, that's fine. But sometimes when I'm playing on my TV, the sounds coming from my monitor just simply is not enough. It would be really dope if I could play a game using my Pro Controller, hook up my headphone jack inside of my controller, and be able to hear guardians chasing me, really up close. Like, I think that would be really beneficial. Hopefully the next iteration of this controller has a headphone jack, or they come out with some kind of Bluetooth headsets that allows you to listen to it wirelessly. Like, either of those options I'm cool with. But I do think that the functionality needs to be there at some form or another. And it's really something I honestly don't hear people talking about. I think the only person that I've heard even mention the fact that the controller needs to have a headphone jack is freaking Rule of Two Review. He's like the only person I've heard even mention that. And regardless of what you guys feel about this controller here, it does have a headphone jack to where you can hear the game when you're playing it. So I think that's something that Nintendo needs to incorporate on this controller. Also, another thing that I don't like, another thing that I don't like is that on the Pro Controller, the capture button, I want to show y'all this, the capture button and the minus button, let me see. Yeah, the capture button and the minus button are like mad close to each other. So here's the capture button here, and here is the minus button here. So I often accidentally hit the capture button by mistake while I'm playing. So I've taken a lot of screenshots of Zelda because the game is gorgeous. But sometimes I will accidentally hit the capture button by mistake because it's so close to the minus button. And that's kind of annoying. So I personally love the Switch Pro Controller, and I didn't think that it was possible to love it more than this, because I absolutely love the Wii U Pro Controller. The Wii U Pro Controller is probably my favorite controller after the Xbox One controller. The only thing that holds this controller back from being better, in my opinion, to the Xbox One controller is the digital triggers. But other than that, I love this controller. And I love this controller too. And I think the only thing that holds this controller back from being the absolute perfect controller is also the digital triggers. I don't know why they went with that design choice, but it is what it is. And then the fact that it lacks a headphone jack. So if they could have that functionality in this, it would be perfect to me. As far as the analog layout is concerned, I absolutely love the two sticks on top for the Wii U Pro Controller. I love the two sticks on top, but I also love the staggered sticks because I love it on this controller. I love it on my Xbox One controller when I have my Xbox One. And I can play staggered sticks on this just fine. However, when it comes down to the actual Switch device itself, I would take it out, but it's going to take the screen, it's going to take it off the TV. I don't like the stagger sticks when you're playing the Joy-Cons on this. I guess I can take the Joy-Cons out right now so you guys can see how they lay. Hold on, let me show you real quick. Listen to that. That sounds so satisfying. I love that. So here's the Joy-Con grip with the Joy-Cons on. And I don't think it's a bad control method. Like, this definitely suffices. Of course, the Pro Controller is like beast mode. Like, this is just the perfect controller. Like, the buttons are big. The joysticks are big. They're accessible. Like, you feel like you're actually handling your game well. On this controller, not so much, because the buttons are smaller and the joysticks are smaller. But it does suffice. But obviously the Pro Controller is just a better way to go. I guess that's what I'm trying to say here. But one thing that I think would make this controller better, as far as it being inside of the Joy-Con grip, is if both sticks were on top. Because I've tried playing with this before, and one of the things that make it less comfortable for me is that when I'm trying to play on the right side of the Joy-Con grip controller, I sometimes, when I'm trying to press the buttons, sometimes this kind of interferes with me trying to press the buttons up here. So I think that if both sticks were on top on the actual Joy-Con grip controller, like how they are on the Wii U, it would be absolutely perfect for me to play with. I would probably have a more positive opinion about playing on this than, it is now. So I'm hoping that in the future, Nintendo has some kind of variation of the right Joy-Con to where the stick is on top. I would probably buy that, to be honest. But so far, like I mentioned, you guys, I really do enjoy my Switch. Even though there's many improvements to be made. But like I said, I expected that because they told us beforehand, like, look, a lot of this stuff ain't gonna be there day one. So I knew what to expect. But what it does well. But alas, like I mentioned before, there are some improvements to be made. So just to kind of give you guys a rundown of everything that I talked about, I know some of you guys came in a little late. What I feel like needs to be improved from a firmware and a software standpoint is I want to see an improved version of Miiverse that is incorporated into the device itself, so that you can see your friends' activity, so that you can see some of the Nintendo fan community's thoughts about what's going on. Because to me, that was one of my favorite things about Miiverse, is being able to see the global Nintendo community's thoughts about what they were playing and what was going on with Nintendo in general. Like, I really like that about Miiverse. And then there were so many creative drawings, so many creative things that I've seen on Miiverse from a lot of the users. I obviously want to see messaging. I obviously want to see party chat. I like Miiverse though. Like, I don't think if they do Miiverse, I don't think that it should be like a separate app. I think it needs to be incorporated. Like, think about how the Xbox One has the activity feed. That's how I think Nintendo could incorporate Miiverse. Like, something like that could be Miiverse 2.0. I would love that. I think that's great. So yeah, so Miiverse 2.0, messaging and party chat, obviously, which is coming down the line, but we don't know if it's going to be on a mobile thing, or on your phone, or if it's going to be on the system. It better be on the system. That's all I'm saying. So party chat, messaging needs to be on the system. I can't reiterate that enough. We need an activity log. Activity log. I need to know how many hours I'm putting into my games, because I like to keep track of that kind of stuff. So we need an activity log. We need an achievement system. So whatever they're doing with Nintendo account, bring it to the Switch. Nintendo, you're already doing it with Fire Emblem. You're already doing it with Miitomo. You're already doing it with Super Mario Run. Bring it to the Switch so that we can have some kind of achievement system, and then also get rewards that allows us to have discounts on the eShop. Like, just do it. Like, do it. And another thing that it's kind of like, I don't need it, but I miss it, which is music in the UI and music in the eShop. Because the UI is kind of quiet right now. I miss music. Or at least like some kind of like white noise from the UI or something. For the hardware, I think that there needs to be a headphone jack on the controllers. And I also think at some point or another, there needs to be some kind of revision that moves the capture button to a different location so you're not accidentally pressing it trying to access the menu from the minus button. But that's pretty much all that I feel like is that needs to be improved from the Nintendo Switch. And I hope that it doesn't take too long to get this stuff, because here you have this device that is fundamentally sound. It does everything that it's supposed to do. When it's in portable mode, it mimics a tablet. So it needs to have features that make it more of a tablet. And I know that the activity log is in the parental settings. I heard you, but it shouldn't have to be. I should be able to look at my activity feed from my device. I should not have to make a parental app when I have no children, or use a parental app when I have no children to access my activity log. I'm sorry, that's just it's not okay. They need to have it on the system. And look, and you can tell the functionality is already there, because when I go to my profile and I look at my play activity, it tells me. It just needs to be more specific. You know, it needs to tell me how many hours have I played Zelda. Just tell me. You know, like it's not that hard. Make DNA do this stuff. You have them now. Make them do it. So anyways, you guys, I guess I could take a couple of questions or a couple of comments that you guys have, because that's pretty much the end of what I wanted to talk about. I feel like everybody who's gotten a Nintendo Switch in March or betas, and the real launch will be during the holiday. That's pretty much any launch, though. Like, pretty much any launch, you're a beta tester. Like, it's like that for every launch. You're a beta tester when you buy anything on day one. And the Nintendo Switch is not any different. So, I kind of knew what I was getting into getting it day one. It's one of those things. You're a beta tester. It is what it is. But you know what? One thing that I do like about the fact that the Nintendo Switch launch, I do like the fact that a lot of people are being very vocal about what needs to be improved. I think that's very helpful. And a lot of the things that I'm saying, I hear a lot of other people saying as well. And the thing that I think pleases me the most is, like, a lot of people are saying what needs to be improved, but I really haven't seen too many people be ugly about it. I haven't seen too many people, I've seen a lot of people actually tweeting at Nintendo about the stuff that needs to be improved. And I think that's good. I think people need to keep it up and let people know, or let Nintendo know what they want to see for the system. Because it's a good system. It has a lot of potential. It's just a lot of the firmware and software things right now are just lacking. Like, that's really just the only thing. Yeah, the Christmas crowd is going to get the full experience. They don't mind being beta testers. Nintendo, take all my money. What the F else can I give you? But Crusader of Xbox 360, it's like that for every console. The PS4 people were beta testers for the PS4. The Xbox One people were beta testers for the Xbox One. The Xbox 360 people were the beta testers for the Xbox 360. The PS3 people were the beta testers for the PS3. The 3DS people were the beta testers for the 3DS. I don't understand how that's not to be expected. It's like a common thing. Let's see. EJ Johnston says, do you think that A Hat in Time should be on the Switch? I honestly forgot all about that game. I have a friend, Star Chaser, who is so obsessed with that Hat in Time game. It would be good if it came. I think that's the kind of game that people who like indies would really be into. It seems like it's going to be a really fun game. So, yeah, I mean, it would be cool if it came over. I wouldn't have a problem with that. Let's say Nintendo Ultra said he added me. Let me see. Did he add me? I could have sworn me and Nintendo Ultra were friends. Where's Nintendo Ultra on my friend list? I guess me and Nintendo Ultra are not friends. Nintendo Ultra, if you are in the chat, make sure you add me. Oh, yeah, we are friends. There you go. Nintendo Ultra and I are friends. And he's one of my best friends on the Switch. He's my best friend on the Switch. We are friends. Yeah, I knew going into. What are y'all saying? Man, yeah, let's see you fight a Lionel and stop this chit chat. I am not fighting a Lionel. No. No, 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 no. I'm not fighting a Lionel yet. I have to get my stats up first. What did Geek say? Okay, Geek, yeah, I knew going into it's good because Nintendo needs this last year or so have been rebrand. Yeah, I've noticed that too. Nintendo really has been trying to rebrand. And I think it's really good that the Nintendo Switch is it's appealing to people who don't normally rock with Nintendo. So all of these diverse opinions that Nintendo is hearing right now are really good, and I really hope that people keep it up. Like, keep telling Nintendo what you want. Keep tweeting Nintendo and telling Nintendo what you want. It's good. It's good for them. Do you think that indies should be like Sumo Digital and port PS4 games to the Switch in just 1 week? I mean, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I saw that you killed a white main Lionel on YouTube. I saw that. Can you message best friends? Unfortunately not, Alex. You cannot message your best friends right now. Unfortunately not. Wait until E3. Yo, real talk though, I do hope that Nintendo talks about features and stuff at E3 so people know they're coming. But they did say a lot of stuff is coming in the summertime, so maybe it will be released around E3. Who knows? That Metroid at E3, baby, I'm calling it. If Metroid is not at E3, I'm gonna be a little salty, unless Retro Studios is making a whole new IP. In that case, I would actually be okay with no Metroid. But when are we getting that F-Zero Happy Home Amiibo Federation? What? I just want a true Luigi's Mansion. Which Metroid? A new 3D Metroid? I want a 3D Metroid, please. Please, 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 please. Please, please, please. I got a friend request. Priceless and GOW Champ. I don't know who this is. I'm assuming you're from the stream. Nintendo gonna silence you haters at E3, okay? They better, because they have no choice. Everybody's looking at Nintendo right now because they actually have an appealing device, so they need to make sure that they bring the heat, so to speak. So, I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut this short. I'm pretty much done with what I needed to say. Fly Girl Gaming, hey, boo. Add me on Switch, girl. Add me on that Switch. Yeah, so I'm gonna get out of here. I might actually come back and stream some Zelda. How about that? How does that sound? Would you guys stick around if I played Zelda? Like, would you watch me get bodied in Zelda? Like, you guys should totally watch me play Zelda. I'm totally okay with that. Because I actually didn't want this to be a long video. Because this is supposed to be like a legit video. A real video. But live. Because I'm lazy. I'm too lazy to edit. So, yeah. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and go. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to stream. That sounds dope. Diddy Kong Racing needs to come back. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, hopefully DLC. I would like to see a Diddy Kong Racing, but it's not a priority for me. Alright, Fly Girl, I got you on Twitter. Alright, you guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to come back with a live stream. Talk to you guys later. Peace.